again. I'm in the middle of moving, so this white background is what you're going to get because I don't have things set up yet to look nice. So I'm excited to see what I'm going to come up with, and I can't wait for you guys to see it too. But this week, it's been really on my heart to talk about endorphins and how powerful those chemicals that our brain and our spinal cord, actually, I learned, produces when we exercise, and how powerful it is for our mental health. So, if you listen to last week's episode with Chelsea, she had encountered severe depression to the point where she attempted to end her life. And one of her breakthrough pieces to the puzzle for learning to take care of her body and learning to love herself again and just connecting that physical sort of care feeling to the mental health component was exercising. Like, she went on a run and she had that breakthrough moment where she felt okay. And so I want to just talk a little bit about this. I feel like this is a perfect time to do so. So endorphins are actually super powerful chemicals that our body produces after we exercise. And they're actually similar to how morphine, that pain reliever, acts on our body as well. And we'll get into that. So I want to just mention some other things real quick to help treat depression on your own. So whether or not you're taking antidepressants, these are things that almost every single person can do. If they're going to the doctor, they should sure mention these things just to make sure they fit your unique situation. But as a general helpful tool, vitamin D and getting sunlight for about 30 minutes a day helps your body to actually produce vitamin D. The sunlight, shines on the skin, and our body takes that and it actually is able to synthesize vitamin D, which helps our mood, it helps our brain and our bones as well, our bone density, which is very important for women as we age. It's not just about calcium, it's about vitamin D and vitamin K and how they all work together to support the bone health. Additionally, something that you can do for your headspace is in the morning when you wake up, sometimes our brain starts to ramp up and just start moving right away. We often get overwhelmed and it's hard to start the day productively and, just launch yourself into the day with an effective headspace and have good productivity, whatever you're doing at work or taking care of your kids. If your headspace is all jumbled up like that and you're so overwhelmed by whatever's stressing you out. So one thing that I have really loved to do over the past few years is journal in the morning. Sometimes my journal entries end up being around 3 pages, and sometimes they end up being very short, like a paragraph or maybe even a couple sentences. So it's really interesting just to see. Sometimes I need it a lot more and I need to just get my thoughts out on the paper. But this can be so helpful because when you get those negative or stressful thoughts out on the page, sometimes that's it. Like, you just needed to express yourself, and when you get it out, it really helps release. So if you haven't tried it, or if you have fallen off because, you got busy or something, or you forgot about it, definitely try journaling and getting your thoughts out on the page. Another thing is supplementing with omega-3s. Getting a fish oil supplement, a high quality one that I really love is from Nordic Naturals. I usually get the Ultimate Omega or the basic one, and they test very rigorously for any heavy metals or toxins or anything that shouldn't be inside of there. As we may have talked about in the past, fish in the ocean has a higher chance of getting mercury inside because of the pollutants in the ocean, and even the Earth's crust has these metals, these elements in it. So it's really important that we understand where our fish oil is coming from, how has it been tested, and is it safe to be consuming. Alternatively, you can have algae oil, which is also produced by Nordic Naturals if you're not into eating fish oil, or taking fish oil rather, or you're a vegan or something like that, or vegetarian. There's algae as well for, if you prefer to take it that way. Other ways that you can get omega-3s are walnuts and grass-fed ground beef, salmon, fatty cuts of fish like that. Those are really good sources of omega-3s. So now we'll dive into the movement component of what this episode is all about. So one thing that we can start doing to help improve depression while we're in eating disorder recovery is start to move our bodies about 3 times a week for about 20 to 30 minutes. This is a good starting point. Sometimes we have a really messed up relationship with exercise if you have been any sort of, down the road of over exercising or really regimenting yourself into a workout schedule. I know that I found during my sickest years of being in having bulimia, I was exercising more than I ever had in my life. So I was doing all these Beachbody workout programs that were like anywhere from like 30 days to, I don't know if you guys remember the 21-day fix, but I would try that, and I would also try, these 90-day long ones, and all of them were just too much. They didn't allow for any flexibility. I know for some people it can be really helpful if you need to be in a place of disciplining yourself and getting on a schedule of doing things. I'm not saying throw everything out. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, so they say. But know what your relationship with exercise is and know who you are. Do you have one of those addictive personalities or type A personalities where if you start something you have to finish it? Or, when you take a commitment, you take it so seriously that it needs to be done, and you basically feel guilty inside if you don't follow through, even if you are suffering. So that's just something to keep in mind when you are starting exercise from nothing and you want to start again, because movement is so important for our longevity, for the health of our brain and our body and our organs, our digestion. There's so many benefits, you guys. So it's clear to me that exercise and movement are going to be a part of my life. Even if I struggle sometimes, I definitely keep it in mind. Like right now I'm taking a break from weightlifting. I love strength training, I love weightlifting, but right now my body is telling me it's time to take a break, because all of last year, I think for the past 8 months, I didn't really miss anything, and my body's asking me to rest because I'm going through a move, I'm doing a bunch of different things, and I want to respect myself and my stress level. So, just remember that sometimes excess exercise can contribute to physical stress on the body, and I can tell when I overdo it because I'll start to get dark circles in my eye, under my eyes. I will just start to look really fatigued, and I will also just be really hungry, and my sleep will be different, and I'll just feel kind of dried out, just drained. You can exercise 2 to 3 times a week for 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes to get started, and then you can increase or decrease it based on your own individual needs. Always check with your doctor too, just to make sure that exercising is okay, because sometimes if you're in an eating disorder recovery treatment program, it's just not safe for your physical body right now. And also all of us are so different, we all have our own individual needs, so just make sure to do that. Improved self-esteem is also a benefit of having physical activity. So it kind of couples with, you start to look better when you start to exercise more regularly, like your skin starts to glow, you just look healthier, and also your energy level improves. So that adds up to helping self-esteem. So it can be a side effect of exercise, and we're going to talk more about what chemicals the body releases when we exercise, and those are called endorphins. Now, a lot of times we hear endorphins this, endorphins that, they're good for you, they make you feel good, but it's important that, when you're understanding what endorphins do, it goes below a surface level. So that's what this episode is going to clear up for us. Endorphins are chemicals that are produced naturally by our nervous system to cope with pain and stress, and they are natural pain relievers and mood boosters. They're primarily made in the hypothalamus region of the brain and the pituitary glands, but they also can come from the spinal column as well. Our body makes these as a response from neurotransmitters in the body. The word endorphin actually comes from endogenous, and that means from the body, and also morphine, which is from the pain reliever, morphine. So they created this name, endorphin, because it helps you feel euphoric when you get done with exercise and the endorphins are doing their action. People feel very similar than, as if they were to take a pain reliever. It's very interesting. So up until 2008, they weren't actually able to measure endorphin activity in the body, but after PET scans were able to detect athletes' brains after exercise, they were able to see that exercise boosts mood and actually increases endorphins. And some medical professionals will actually go ahead and prescribe exercise and treatment for anxiety and depression, in addition to antidepressants, other things, or just on its own. That's how powerful it can be, and I can vouch for that as well. So endorphins do trigger a positive response in the body similar to morphine. Many people describe it as the runner's high. You can get that from, doing many different types of exercises, swimming, high intensity workouts, but endorphins will help diminish pain, which also make it a huge difference from chronic pain. So consider that if you're dealing with back pain and you can, increase your physical activity, you just understand that endorphins will have an effect on your pain. And it's going to be different for every single person. But exercise is also used safely in conjunction with many other treatments such as therapy, antidepressants, and some providers even have noted in studies that it's been just as effective as antidepressants. So I used to take Prozac for depression and it was working for a while, but over time I noticed it didn't really help me anymore. And that's why I started to dive deep into what can I do to start healing my system and, go for the long game instead of just taking a medication and, making the problem go away for another month or so. I wanted to learn what was it that I really needed to continue to feel good every single day. So as you know, that happened to be my spiritual relationship, my morning routines, my gut health, and also movement and optimizing my brain health. Those are all very important, and also blood sugar management to help my headspace and my body to heal. So I'm excited to announce I just created a really special brain-themed mood tracker and mental health care template, and it's now live. You can go to the link in the show notes to find that. I'm very excited about it. I created it on my own. This is great for improving positivity, reducing negative thoughts, improving your memory, learning how to take care of your brain to boost your mood and help with depression. The state of our mind helps influence our decisions and our mood and just how we feel on a daily basis, and it helps us make decisions about food. It gives us the power, or it takes strength away from us when we are making decisions to, binge eat or restrict food. Like, our blood sugar needs to be balanced, our brain needs to be taken care of. And when you can do that, when your inside of your body and your brain are optimized, you give your brain a better chance to recover. So see you next week.